What Ibrahim Traoré just said shook the entire continent. Burkina Faso's young captain Ibrahim Traoré seized power in a September 2022 coup, promising to end foreign interference and revive the spirit of revolutionary hero Thomas Sankara overnight. Burkina turned away from its former colonial patrons, French troops and expelling ambassadors, and forged a new alliance of expelling Sahel states, with Mali and Niger across West Africa. Generals have been rewriting the rules. Mali and Niger have expelled US and French forces, and now Burkina's junta faces intense scrutiny from abroad. In the heart of West Africa, a seismic shift is underway. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a 36-year-old military officer, has risen to prominence, challenging long-standing power structures and asserting a new vision for Burkina Faso. Recently, General Michael Langley, head of the U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM, publicly accused Traoré of misusing the nation's gold reserves to bolster his regime's security apparatus, suggesting a diversion of resources away from the Burkinabe people. Traoré's response was unequivocal, a firm rejection of external interference and a reaffirmation of Burkina Faso's sovereignty. This confrontation has ignited fervent reactions across the nation. Thousands have taken to the streets of Ouagadougou, waving national and Russian flags, voicing support for Traoré, and denouncing perceived neo-colonial influences. The stakes are high. Burkina Faso, alongside Mali and Niger, has formed the alliance of Sahel states, signaling a shift away from traditional Western alliances and towards new partnerships. As the world watches, questions arise. Is this the dawn of a new era of African self-determination? Or a flashpoint in an already volatile region? In this documentary, we delve deep into the events leading up to this pivotal moment, exploring the motivations, alliances, and implications of Traoré's bold stance. Join us as we uncover the story behind the headlines and examine the future of Burkina Faso and the broader Sahel region. Burkina Faso, a landlocked nation in West Africa, has become the epicenter of a geopolitical confrontation that resonates far beyond its borders. In September 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traoré seized power, positioning himself as a leader committed to restoring national sovereignty and addressing the country's security challenges. Traoré's ascent was met with both hope and skepticism. Domestically, many viewed him as a beacon of change, especially among the youth who saw in him a reflection of Thomas Sankara's revolutionary ideals. Internationally, however, concerns grew. The West, particularly the United States and France, watched with unease as Traoré distanced Burkina Faso from traditional allies and sought new partnerships. Tensions escalated when U.S. General Michael Langley, head of AFRICOM, publicly accused Traoré of diverting the nation's gold reserves to fortify his regime. Traoré's response was swift and unyielding. He emphasized Burkina Faso's right to self-determination, stating that the nation's resources would be utilized to benefit its people, not to serve external interests. This exchange ignited a wave of nationalism. Thousands rallied in Ouagadougou, expressing support for Traoré and denouncing perceived neo-colonial interference. As Burkina Faso navigates this complex landscape, the world watches closely. The unfolding events raise critical questions about sovereignty, foreign influence, and the future of African leadership. In this documentary, we delve into the intricate dynamics at play, exploring the motivations behind Traoré's decisions, the reactions they have elicited, and the broader implications for the region and beyond. Who is Ibrahim Traoré? Born on March 14, 1988, in the village of Kera, within Burkina Faso's Bondakwi department, Ibrahim Traoré's early life was rooted in modest beginnings. He pursued his primary education in his hometown and later attended secondary school in Bobo-Dioulasso, the nation's second-largest city. In 2006, Traoré enrolled at the University of Ouagadougou, where he studied geology. During his university years, he became actively involved in student movements, notably the Marxist Association Nationale d'étudiants du Burkina, ANEB, where he served as a delegate and was recognized for advocating on behalf of his peers. Upon graduating with honors in 2009, Traoré joined the Burkinabe army. He underwent anti-aircraft training in Morocco and was subsequently assigned to an infantry unit in Kaya, a town in northern Burkina Faso. By 2014, he had risen to the rank of lieutenant and participated in United Nations peacekeeping missions in Mali, where he was commended for his bravery during significant rebel attacks in the Tombouctou region. Traoré's military career continued to advance, and in 2020, he was promoted to captain. However, during this period, he became increasingly disillusioned with the nation's leadership, particularly concerning the inadequate equipment provided to soldiers and reports of corruption among politicians. He emerged as a spokesperson for soldiers stationed in the north, voicing their frustrations and advocating for change. Traoré's leadership and commitment to national sovereignty have drawn comparisons to Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso's former president known for his revolutionary ideals. While Traoré's approach is more pragmatic, focusing on immediate security and stability, he has implemented reforms that resonate with many Burkinabe, such as reversing salary increases for government officials and nationalizing gold mines to ensure resources benefit the nation. His stance against foreign interference and emphasis on self-reliance have garnered significant support among the youth, who see in him a leader striving to uphold the nation's dignity and autonomy. As Burkina Faso continues to navigate complex geopolitical dynamics, Traoré's leadership remains a focal point of both national pride and international scrutiny. The coup that shook Africa. In the early hours of September 30, 2022, the city of Ouagadougou awoke to the sound of heavy gunfire and explosions. Masked soldiers established blockades across the capital, signaling a significant shift in Burkina Faso's political landscape. This marked the second coup in Burkina Faso within a year. Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, who had seized power in January 2022, was deposed by a faction of the military led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Captain Traoré, previously the head of the Cobra Special Forces unit in Kaya, justified the coup by citing Damiba's inability to address the escalating jihadist insurgency that plagued the nation. The coup was not only a military maneuver but also a reflection of widespread public dissatisfaction. Many citizens, frustrated by the government's failure to ensure security and stability, viewed Traoré's actions as a necessary step towards reclaiming national integrity. Following the coup, Traoré announced the dissolution of the transitional government and the suspension of the constitution. He imposed a curfew and closed the country's borders, asserting that these measures were essential to restore order and address the nation's challenges. The international community responded with concern. Western media outlets, including CNN, BBC, and Al Jazeera, highlighted the potential implications of the coup on regional stability and the fight against extremism in the Sahel. Domestically, the coup sparked a wave of demonstrations. Supporters of Traoré took to the streets, some targeting French diplomatic institutions, reflecting a growing sentiment against perceived foreign interference. As the dust settled, Captain Ibrahim Traoré emerged as the new leader of Burkina Faso, facing the monumental task of uniting a divided nation and confronting the multifaceted challenges ahead. France, the West and the African Awakening. For over a century, France maintained a significant presence in West Africa, both during and after the colonial era. This influence persisted through economic ties, military agreements, and political alliances, often referred to as Francafrique. In recent years, sentiments in Burkina Faso shifted. Many citizens began to question the benefits of this long-standing relationship, especially in light of ongoing security challenges and economic concerns. In January 2023, the Burkinabe government formally requested the withdrawal of French troops from its territory. This decision was influenced by a desire to reevaluate foreign partnerships and assert greater national autonomy. The departure of French forces was met with mixed reactions. Some viewed it as a necessary step towards self-determination, while others expressed concerns about the potential security vacuum it might create. Symbolic acts accompanied these developments. In various demonstrations, protesters removed or defaced French flags, signaling a desire to redefine national identity and move away from colonial legacies. Amid these changes, there was a resurgence of Pan-African sentiments. Movements advocating for African unity and self-reliance gained momentum, emphasizing the importance of regional cooperation and mutual support. This period marked a significant chapter in Burkina Faso's history, reflecting broader shifts in West Africa's approach to foreign relations and internal governance. General Langley and the U.S. response. In the corridors of power, where strategies are devised and alliances forged, a new chapter unfolds. General Michael Langley, the first African American to lead the United States Africa Command, AFRICOM, stands at the helm of America's military engagement on the continent. His mission, to navigate the complexities of a region marked by shifting allegiances and emerging powers. AFRICOM's presence in the Sahel has long been justified by the need to combat extremist threats. Yet, as nations like Burkina Faso reevaluate their partnerships, questions arise about the true nature of foreign military involvement. In recent statements, General Langley expressed concerns over the growing influence of external actors in West Africa, particularly highlighting the activities of Russian entities. He emphasized the importance of maintaining strategic partnerships to ensure regional stability. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, leading Burkina Faso's transitional government, responded with a firm stance on national sovereignty. In public addresses, he articulated a vision of self-reliance, asserting that Burkina Faso would determine its own path without external dictates. This exchange underscores a broader shift in the geopolitical landscape of West Africa, where nations are increasingly asserting autonomy and re-evaluating traditional alliances. As the dynamics evolve, the world watches closely, recognizing that the decisions made today will shape the future of the region for generations to come. Traoré's vision for Burkina Faso. In the heart of West Africa, a nation stands at a crossroads. Burkina Faso, long challenged by instability and external influences, now finds itself under the leadership of a man determined to redefine its destiny. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, ascending to power in 2022, has unveiled a vision that seeks to transform the nation's foundations. Agriculture, the lifeblood of Burkina Faso, has taken center stage. Recognizing the sector's potential, Traoré's administration has initiated reforms aimed at revitalizing farmlands and empowering local farmers. Innovative programs have been introduced, including the integration of rehabilitated individuals into the agricultural workforce, fostering both productivity and social reintegration. Education and military restructuring have also been pivotal. Efforts are underway to modernize the military, ensuring it is equipped to address contemporary challenges. Simultaneously, educational initiatives aim to provide the youth with skills essential for nation building, emphasizing both academic and vocational training. Youth empowerment remains a cornerstone of Traoré's agenda. By investing in technology hubs and training centers, the administration seeks to harness the energy and innovation of the younger generation, positioning them as key drivers of national progress. Combating corruption has been another focal point. Under Traoré's directive, an anti-corruption task force has been established, targeting malpractices and promoting transparency across governmental operations. This initiative underscores a commitment to accountability and the restoration of public trust. Through these multifaceted reforms, Captain Ibrahim Traoré envisions a Burkina Faso that is self-reliant, resilient, and poised for a future defined by its own aspirations and values. The global reaction. As Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership reshapes Burkina Faso's trajectory, the international community watches with a mix of apprehension and intrigue. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, swiftly responded to the 2022 coup by suspending Burkina Faso from its governing bodies, emphasizing the need for a return to constitutional order. The African Union echoed this sentiment, suspending Burkina Faso and condemning the unconstitutional change of government. In contrast, neighboring nations Mali, Niger, and Guinea extended support to Traoré's regime. The three countries, sharing similar political upheavals, solidified their alliance by forming the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, aiming to bolster regional security and cooperation. France, once a dominant influence in the region, faced a gradual decline in its presence. French troops withdrew from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger between 2022 and 2023, as the new regime sought to distance themselves from former colonial ties. Amidst these geopolitical shifts, civil society and diaspora communities rallied in support of Traoré. Demonstrations erupted across Africa and globally, with supporters advocating for Burkina Faso's sovereignty and self-determination. The global reaction underscores a continent at a crossroads, grappling with its colonial past while forging a new path forward. What's next for Africa? The emergence of leaders like Captain Ibrahim Traoré signals a potential shift in Africa's political landscape. The formation of the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger represents a move towards regional integration and collective self-reliance. This alliance challenges traditional Western influence, as these nations seek alternative partnerships and assert their sovereignty. The success of Burkina Faso's current trajectory could inspire similar movements across the continent, fostering a resurgence of Pan-Africanism. However, the path forward is fraught with challenges. The international community's response, the resilience of these new alliances, and the internal dynamics of these nations will shape Africa's future. As the continent stands on the precipice of change, the world watches, anticipating the next chapter in Africa's unfolding story. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has made one thing unmistakably clear: Burkina Faso will not be dictated to. From the expulsion of foreign forces to a renewed focus on self-reliance and national dignity, his message echoes far beyond his country's borders. The question now is not only about one man or one nation. It's about a continent. Will Africa finally take its destiny into its own hands? Will the children learning in village schools today grow up in an Africa where decisions are made in African capitals? Not in Washington, Paris, or Brussels. You've watched the facts. Now it's your turn to speak. Comment "Africa rises" if you believe the time has come. And if you thought this story was powerful, the next chapter is even more revealing. In our next episode, we expose the back-channel negotiations and secret deals France is making to regain lost ground in Africa. Subscribe now so you don't miss it.